Hello everybody, this is Tyler here once again from the Character Workshop. If you guys haven't seen the title of the video yet, you probably know what I'm going to be talking about. So, basically yesterday, filmmaker Brennan Cardy, who was well known for making a 2023 documentary about the Thomas fandom called An Unlikely Fandom, which he ended up having a private screening for the film, and Britt Allcroft, being the creator of the Thomas and Friends TV series, was at that screening, and he had a bit of a connection with her. And yesterday, on social media, he made the announcement that Britt Allcroft sadly passed away at the age of 81. And apparently, from some sources that I've read, she apparently passed away on Christmas Day of 2024, which is even more sad to hear about. So, seeing that Thomas and Friends was a huge part of my childhood, and it's a show I still think about and talk about in terms of videos to all you guys, this shocked me and hurt me a bit when I found out about this announcement. It just came out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting this news. Like, 2025 has so far, and it's only been 4 days, has been a crazy year in all the wrong ways. There was the terrorist attack in New Orleans. There was the Cybertruck that exploded right near a Trump-owned hotel. And now we get the news of Britt Allcroft passing away. I'll be honest, I'm kind of scared about what the rest of 2025 is going to offer us because of those 3 pieces of news that just came out. But of course, this video is going to be covering Britt Allcroft's passing, of course. And of course, as expected, a lot of people in the Thomas fandom have shared their supports and, of course, feeling very devastated by the loss of Britt Allcroft. And many people on social media have posted their own tributes and posts saying rest in peace, Britt Allcroft, and in some cases, people posting images relating to Thomas and so on and so forth. And also, some of the bigger names in the Thomas fandom on YouTube have also posted their own videos discussing Britt Allcroft's passing. Unlucky Tug has done one. Usual Bloke Luke did a video. Actually, he was the first Thomas fan YouTuber in my subscriptions that made a video talking about Britt Allcroft's passing. So that was one of the first instances that I've heard the news about her passing. And in terms of others, the list goes on. James A. Williams posted a community post about his tribute to Britt Allcroft and had an image that he drew of Lady, who, Lady, for anybody who doesn't know, was a character that, for the most part, exclusively appeared in Thomas and the Magic Railroad. She also made a brief little cameo in Calling All Engines, but that's a topic for a whole nother day. So, Lady was a character in that film, which Thomas and the Magic Railroad, by the way, was I almost said corrected, what the heck. It was directed and co-produced by Britt Allcroft. She was heavily involved with the film. And in addition to all that, she voiced Lady in the movie, which is one of the rare times where Britt Allcroft actually had a voice in film and television. And yeah, which I could definitely understand why a lot of people would often use Lady as a character to use in their dedicated posts to Britt Allcroft, as she was, of course, voiced by Britt Allcroft, and Thomas and the Magic Railroad was one of the last Thomas-related properties that Britt Allcroft was heavily involved with before she left Thomas because of the failure that Thomas and the Magic Railroad got. So, yeah. Which, also hearing the fact that she didn't stay on with Thomas after Magic Railroad. It honestly saddens me even more now, because we could have had way more, Thomas episodes and seasons with her involved. Like, I'm very curious what the show would have been like after the Magic Railroad if Britt still continued to be a big part of the show, but... Well... Trying to think if there's anything else I really want to say about this video. This, as I brought up earlier, this announcement just came out of nowhere for me, and I'm sure it came out of nowhere for everybody else watching this, and whether you're a Thomas fan or not, whether you're somebody who still watches the show, still engages with the show and the fandom, or you're somebody who only just watched it in the past and moved on to other things, this news shocked a lot of people. Like, even, like, people that are directly involved with the Thomas fandom are even posting dedicated posts online about Britt Allcroft's passing. Like, there's this... I don't know his username, but if you guys follow Twitter... Not follow Twitter. If you guys use Twitter at all, you'd probably recognize this guy. He's like a big animation discussion person on the internet, and you probably may recognize him. He has like this orange, like, OC, I guess. I don't know. This orange splat looking OC who very much resembles the Nickelodeon logo, but I don't remember his name. You guys probably know who I'm talking about if you guys use social media, but even he made a dedicated post to Britt Allcroft, and various verified pop culture related Twitter accounts have also posted their sorrow and dedication for Britt Allcroft. And also, in addition to going back to what I talked about earlier with Thomas YouTubers, Dalek44 also made his own tribute video, which I haven't seen yet. The video was called... It was basically a dedication to Britt Allcroft, and it was called That's What Friends Are For, which essentially, like I said, I haven't seen the video yet, but my guess is probably has to do with probably him showcasing maybe Thomas footage, or at least his own Thomas series on there, and it probably has the soundtrack to That's What Friends Are For, which was a Thomas song that was made in Season 4 that never got a music video made, but yeah, I'll definitely plan on watching that video once I'm done recording this, just to see how others reacted to and have done their own little tributes to Britt Allcroft. And because of how big Britt Allcroft was for Thomas as like a franchise and the show itself, and huge part of the fandom, I feel like just this one simple video is not good enough for me paying tributes to Britt Allcroft. Like, I feel like I haven't really talked about this show as much as I really wanted to. Like, I've done a good amount of episodes on it, whether it's talking about, little bits of info about the show itself or people in the fandom. I feel like I should do more than that. So, for this point forward, I might start it in this season. I might also save it for Season 10 if Season 10 of Big Game from England ever happens. But I'm thinking about actually going back and reviewing the actual, like, Thomas series itself, reviewing every episode, my thoughts about it, so on and so forth. Now, I know this is, like, not very original, I guess you can say, because dozens, if not hundreds of other Thomas YouTubers are doing the same thing, but, there's always room. There's always room for more people to review the show. Just because the main show itself is not in production anymore, and also a lot of the people involved with the show back in the day are no longer with us, unfortunately. It doesn't mean people in the future can't talk about the show continuously. Like, keep that in mind. While it's sad that Britt Allcroft herself is no longer with us, it doesn't mean the fandom itself is dying. The fandom can still thrive, still continue, even without the core people involved with it. Because keep in mind, it isn't just Britt Allcroft we've lost. Over the past 17 years at this point, we have had a variety of people from the old days of Thomas no longer with us. Like 2008, we've lost two people in particular. We lost David Mitten, who was the director of Thomas and Friends Seasons 1 to 7, who pretty much played just as big of a part of the series as Britt Allcroft herself. And then also in 2008, we lost George Carlin, who was the U.S. narrator for seasons 1 to 4, who, even to this day, a lot of people still consider him to be the best U.S. narrator of the series. So, there's also that. And then 5 years ago in 2020, we lost Michael Angelis, the longest-running English narrator of the show, who narrated the UK dub from 1991 to 2012. Which not to try to plug it or anything, I did a separate video of me talking about his passing. So, it's... My apologies if this video is very rambly and stuff, but this news just came recently, and I had to do a video talking about it, because, as I mentioned before, this show is a huge part of my childhood, and a huge part of probably a lot of your guys' childhoods, too. She was an inspiration for a lot of us. I sound like a broken record, but it's sad. Very sad. But yeah, as I brought up earlier, I plan on doing probably sometime this season, or maybe in a future season if it came from England sometime down the line, if season 10 ever happens, as I brought up earlier. But I will start reviewing the actual show itself, like reviewing individual episodes and give my thoughts about them, because speechless. Just speechless. There's never really been a person who passed away that made me, like, kind of a bit emotional, like Britt Allcroft. Like, the only other people I can think of that made me, like, this pretty upset is probably Robin Williams, Michael Angelis, of course, as I did that one video on him. And then technically 2 years ago, we lost Paul Reubens, the guy who played Pee Wee Herman. So, all in all, rest in peace to Britt Allcroft. You will be missed by not only just your friends and family, but also a whole generation, a whole community of people who watched your show, loved it, were heavily inspired by it, to the point where somebody made an entire documentary about the fandom. Like, I'm so thankful that Britt was able to see that documentary, just to see how much of an impact that show that she worked on did. And it's very bittersweet that she was able to see that and know how much the fandom loved the series and loved the work that she did. So, I'm very thankful for that. And I guess we should all be thankful to a certain extent that she was able to see how much of an impact the show made on people all over the world. I don't really have much else to say. My prayers go out to Britt Allcroft's family and friends, and the whole entire Thomas fandom in general, because this news probably devastated all of us to a certain extent. Rest in peace, Britt Allcroft. Keep on sparkling. Or should I say, you will always, I don't know, ignore what I just said. Well, except for the part where I said rest in peace, of course. Keep that in there. So yeah, hope you guys are... Let me know if you guys have any thoughts in the comments about your history related to, I don't know, Thomas the Tank Engine. Are you about as saddened about Britt Allcroft's passing as I am, and everybody else pretty much is? Feel free to let me know your thoughts and prayers in the comments. But with that being said, that's about it for this episode of I Came From England. Hope you guys got something out of it. And yeah, stay tuned for more episodes to come with I Came From England. I was planning on doing this as a short video, but because I rambled on a lot and I had a lot to say about this announcement of Britt Allcroft's passing, I just had to get my thoughts out, my raw thoughts and feelings about her passing. So yeah, stay tuned for more episodes to come with I Came From England. Second episode in a row with no outro, so my apologies for that. But anyways, this is Tyler from the Character Workshop. signing out. And may the Thomas fandom thrive and continue. Just because Britt Allcroft is gone doesn't mean that the spirit of the fandom is going to die.